As you can see on our agenda today are the bathrooms. So I will show you a few examples and then we can go through whichever questions you have regarding bathrooms. So the bathrooms, I think they are sometimes one of the most problematic rooms when it comes to designing and all the, even like when you're in designing in the process of designing your home, etc. And sometimes our clients, they like the bathrooms are quite small and they would like to fit whatever they can in the bathroom. And like, sometimes that's not possible. And we just like, we're there to tell them what can be done, what cannot be done. But I think that the planning of the space is the most important, especially when we have small bathrooms. Well, in the big bathrooms as well, because sometimes, like, they're so big that if we like, don't plan them the way they should be, then they will feel very empty and you might have an echo and etc. But with small ones, they're like, there might be sometimes a problem. So like planning the space, that's I think that's what we have to, start with. Um, it all depends if you're designing only like a WC, where like, you only need a small vanity and a toilet. And like there's a different approach when we need a full bathroom. So whether it will be a shower there or a bath there. So like we have to just work around what we need to deliver for our clients. When it comes to bathroom layout basics, so the when it comes to functionality and flow, we always have to have a space to like around everything, like to comfortably go to shower, or if there is a bath, to have an access to the bath so nothing is blocking it. The same with the toilet. If there's a chance to like hide it a bit, then like we can add like a partition wall for like a more privacy, or if not, then like just to put it somewhere that it's not straight in your face. If you are when you're designing your client's bathroom and you are in the process where the plumbing is not done yet, then I think that's the best time to like start planning. The other scenario is where we already have a plumbing done and then we have to work around it. Because like sometimes I don't know why, but like the toilets are made straight across the door. So like when you're opening the door, then you have a toilet. That's not the best solution because like sometimes we like we not fully close the door, and like there's traffic around the house, and like the first thing you see it will be toilet in straight, like straight up looking from the door. So like if we can avoid that, then that's great. If the layout of the bathroom doesn't allow it, then of course we have to work around it and maybe like just introduce like different tiles or like a wall color, something that will like take our eyes off the toilet that is straight in our face. And when it goes to fittings and fixtures, well, the fittings and fixtures, that we have like loads of colors now. We can choose from chrome through brass, like matte gold, shiny gold, all like other colors, because even like you can get even a colorful ones. So again, we need to know what we're doing. We need to ask our clients with what they're comfortable with. Like the bathroom is not a space that you will be updating or like changing very often. Often they are quite expensive to do, especially like if they are full covered in tiles and etc. And like fittings and fixtures, they are quite expensive as well. So these are not the rooms that we will be changing quite often. If we don't do like a full tiled bathroom, then of course the wall that is not tiled, that can be painted. So like, so we can add different colors. But basically, they are not rooms that are changed, let's say every 2 or 3 years. So like we want to make them um, more timeless, but also fashionable and like, and spaces that they maybe not too boring, and that like we will be able to live with them for this good few years. So yeah, so then like I think with choosing fixtures and fittings, if like your client is not a very colorful person, I think we should like stick to um maybe like whites, and then the fixture, the fittings, we can like choose any other colors. But I think like the bats and sinks, like white, or like even black if someone likes black. But I think white is the safest option, and then we can like work with tiles, we can work with different textures to bring interest to the room. Yeah, so that's actually me covering the style tips, so like how to make your bathroom feel modern, cozy, and luxurious. Yeah, so that's when we go with the with the style. So if we want what if we know what our clients want, or sometimes they don't know, so like we need to lead the way. But we always go for the feel that sits with our clients. If they're like if they like modern, then we'll go with modern. We can do modern luxurious as well, like, and of course cozy. It doesn't have to modern, it doesn't mean that it has to be cold and I don't know, only like one color, or like white and only squared off shapes. It doesn't mean that like, so we can do modern in, luxury and cozy as well. Common mistakes to avoid. So with the bathrooms, choosing materials, that's, I think that's the main issue where we can actually, go wrong. And then we can, have like, done something like mistakes. And so if we want to avoid them, then with bathrooms, I think we have to um, really think through all our choices. So when it comes to fittings, fixtures, all the textures, colors, so that needs to be thought through. And that comes to layout as well. With layout, as I mentioned, like, if we're not limited and like we're designing the bathroom at the very early stage where like, we don't have any plumbing done yet, then that's fine. If we're working with a bathroom that already has a layout, then like then that might be a bit more complicated, but like it's all doable. There is nothing that we cannot do. It's just like taking a different approach, but it's all doable. So now let me show you, like I have two full bathrooms, but they're small bathrooms, so like they're not big bathrooms. So we will like talk a bit about the layout, and then I have a powder room that is only like a vanity and a toilet. So maybe we'll start with that. So with the powder rooms, I think powder rooms, like they don't have to be fully tiled. I think maybe there might be like, done a bit differently. And I sometimes see that like, that people are taking powder rooms to like a different level. So I think people like for the powder room to be like a wow factor. And it might be like, maybe a bit different from all like, other full bathrooms they are in the house, especially when powder rooms are mostly guest bathrooms, like, when we have guests over and like, they will be using it. So I think there is a room there to really create something extraordinary. So like in this one here, it's a small space. As you can see, like it's not a big bathroom. So if we go back to 2D, that's literally 2 meters by 2.5 meters. So it's a really like box size powder room. So let me go back to 3D. As you can see, I went all the way. So it's not maybe overly crazy, because like I stick out with the, like color palette that it's like a dark, moody with grays and greens. Like I didn't like, or like redo, like overly redone it. Um, so like it's not colorful, it's like, it's quite muted, but it is moody. And I think like, if you will have a powder room like that, it will definitely make, maybe not for everyone a wow factor, but like, it will definitely stand out. So here I use the paneling on the lower side, and then I used a mural with, as you can see, like, some plants and birds on the upper part and also on the ceiling for that even more dramatic look. I think even a darker paint with like, would look fine as well, but I wanted to really go all the way, so I put it on the ceiling as well. We have a space for a single vanity. Well, being honest, for powder rooms, we don't need double vanities, as like, they're only used for like, using the toilet and washing your hands. So a single vanity is like, it's good enough. Then I added a mirror with like a brass frame and some lights that are actually very elegant and maybe even like a bit luxurious, so they add into a space as well. And also my ceiling light is in a similar color. Vanity is slightly lighter than the paneling, so it's like, so it stands out just a bit. And yeah, and paneling is like in a dark green gray color. I put a molding on the top, just like, just to add a bit more interest and a bit more dimension, because I feel that without the molding, it will be just, maybe just a bit too much with the murals on the ceiling and on the wall. So that's a nice distraction. And then the window is painted in the same color as the wainscoting. So as the paneling. And then we have a tiles on the floor. As you can see, they're simple. They're like more grayish color. I think I had like a marble texture here, but it's disappeared. So like, we could add like marble texture on top here just to add a bit more luxury. When designing the bathrooms, don't forget to add like, these little fixtures here, like maybe they're not um very elegant, but like, they need to be there. So like a toilet brush and a toilet roll holder. If you have like, space for like a little cabinet, we can add some storage. But like, for powder room, I think that's like, that's actually what we need. So this is one room that I wanted to show you. Then we have a main bathroom. That main bathroom is actually like, it was already when I was working on it, it was already like the plumbing was done. So like there was like, no other way around it. So it was the bath was here, the shower was here, the toilet is here, and then we have um vanity, like I added vanity and I also fitted like a storage there. It's an underfloor heating, but anyway, like I've added a radiator for the towels. It's a family bathroom, so they like it's three kids there. Like the kids, they have their own bathroom, but like, even when you have people visiting and like, with three kids, like, sometimes they want to use the bathroom at the same time. So like it's five people in the house with like two bathrooms. So I've added storage there as well, and you have bath and a shower because that was the requirement. So the clients wanted a bath, freestanding bath. So like even though the bathroom is small, we can switch to 3D. It's still you can still move around around the place. The only thing is the shower glass, like we decided to do an open shower, so you like don't feel closed up. And like I have very similar thing in my house, and like if you're not overly like splashing, then you're fine. It's like a bit of water coming into the floor, but we have like tiles on the floor or like a micro cement we can do. So like, that's not a problem. In this bathroom, as I mentioned, there's underfloor heating. So like you have really warm floor under the shower. And then even like, when you splash with water, it will like, dry up quickly. So in this one to put it into elements, then we have a freestanding bath under the window. So like, that pretty much it was only one place where you could do it, because like, otherwise if you will put the vanity there, then like, no, there's no space for the mirror. And as I mentioned, like the pipes for the bath, they're already there. So we have enough space to fit wall hang toilet. We decided to go for a wall hang toilet because we've been doing the wall with the niches anyway. So like, so there is a bit of space. It was like, built up, and then the plaster was going on top of that. So we had a bit of space to fit our wall hang toilet, and like, so there's nothing sticking out and nothing more is taking up the space. So they're actually like, if you're creating walls with niches and the toilet is going on that wall, then it's a very good idea to use a wall hang toilet with hidden cistern, that is like, with a cistern that is hidden in the wall. So like, so you're just not taking more space. Yeah, the shower is it's not small, because I think it's like over 110 in width. So like, it's a really spacious shower. And then like, you have a door here, so you can access the door freely. They're opening on the towel rack, but that's only for towels. And like, as we know, like, the door for the bathroom, they don't need to be fully open all the time. So the towels will dry up with no problem. So we fitted a vanity unit here with one sink and a storage. We could do maybe, like smaller vanity with two sinks, but it wasn't required. They required for extra storage. So that's why we put it an extra storage inside. Um, because it's a small bathroom, then we went for like a very simple look. So like, like we added some texture with the vanity and the storage, and there is some marble. We decided to go for white fixtures, and then for white fittings, and then all the fixtures are like a brass. So the rest of the walls and the floor and the ceiling, they are all the same color, which gives it really modern feel, but it also looks really luxurious and very inviting. And then we have again a smaller bathroom. That's a master suite. So that's an ensuite bathroom next to a master bedroom. Just let me reopen that. So as you can see, it's a small room. It's like 6 square meters. And now let me go to 3D. There's no bath here, because it was either a bath or a shower. So we decided to go for the shower. And this is the bathroom from this side. So it's a very simple bathroom, but the tiles, they do like, they do add a bit of luxury to the space. I will show you the arched cabinets in a minute, the niches. So basically, like in here, then again, all the plumbing was already done. But being honest, like it was all nearly in good places. We moved a vanity a bit to allow for a bigger shower. So the shower, as we'll go from this side maybe, it's on the full wall here. So we just added a glass going from floor up to the ceiling, and then you have like just a walk-in shower. So like, there's really enough space. The shower is quite wide, and it's on the back of the bathroom, so it just takes all width of the bathroom. So it's like, really comfortable. The first idea was to do two showers from both sides, but then we will have to do a sliding doors, and we wanted to like, we didn't want them there. So like, so we decided to do one shower, and with the glass and with more walk-in. And because we decided to go for a single shower, then we had a bit of a space on this wall here. So we've created two arched niches with shelves. There are actually even lights under the shelves. So they're creating like a bit of, again, luxury and a bit of a wow factor. Because everyone that's seen that design, like, they always like the idea of the niches. So like, you have an extra storage for like, your cosmetics and like, your nicer things like perfumes, etc. You can even put some decorative pieces, and like one niche is in the shower area, as you can see. So like you can have your shampoos and stuff there. And then the other one is next to it. So like we can have some more toiletries over there as well. It was enough space only for a single vanity, but again, that's a bathroom that only two people are using. So like that's totally okay. It's anyway, it's a small bathroom, so like it won't be usually used by two people at the same time. So one like a single vanity is enough. The rest of the bathroom walls are painted in like an off-white light beigey color, matching the tiles. So like so that's why here we decided to go with quite dramatic tiles like this marble here, just to like give it a more interest and this like a luxurious feel. So, okay, so I've showed you three different examples. And now if you have questions about either the bathrooms that I showed you, or like, how anything was done in the bathrooms, or maybe like, if you're struggling with something, then just ask away. So I'll wait for your questions now. What how to get a good view of what you're designing while you're designing when the space is so small. So like when are you is it in 3D or is it in when you do the render, Rosa?
Actually, when you're working, I know when you're rendering, you can take away the walls. You can hide the walls, and that makes it easy. But in order to go back, like you always have to go back and forth from the rendering. Sometimes when you're designing and it's such a tight spot, it's hard to see what you're designing because the walls are so close. You can't
Yeah,
get that
well,
picture.
like I usually will zoom in, and being honest, like if I can start my layouts in 2D, then I will do it. I will zoom in 2D, and like I will do the layouts. For the
Ah,
renders, if you when you're rendering, don't use the height tool for the wall, because then like your interior is flooded with a natural light. So we have a clip view. With a clip view, you walk in through the wall. The wall is still there,
oh,
like it will be in the reflection, but with the clip view, you're walking through the wall like a ghost. So the wall is still
oh,
behind
I
you.
didn't know that.
Yes, yes. So so there's a tool called clip view, and you just move it ever so slightly. So if I'll just quickly show you. So if I go to take a
Mhm.
render, and as you can see, like I have the wall in front of me, so I can go to clip view. Let me move this one here.
Oh,
Clip
I
view,
see. Okay.
and you just move it ever so slightly. And as you can see, the wall is disappearing. I will just zoom in just a bit because I think I'm just too far away. And you can just move it and you just walking through it like a ghost.
Oh, okay. That's much easier.
Yes. And and it's still like, it's still there. So now we can crop it a bit. We can straighten it up. And now in the mirror, you will see the wall with the niches. So it will be still there. And when you will use
Oh,
the
I
hand
see.
tool, yes, the
I
wall is
see.
disappearing. So like, so you don't have it in a reflection, and like the room is flooded with a natural light, and it's like, and it's just then going just too bright. So use the clip view for small spaces. Back out so you can like, face the wall, and then go through a wall with the clip view.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. And now, like, as you can see, that's a very small space. But like, I will always zoom in. When I'm zooming out, and the wall that you're facing is disappearing to like, allow you to go to the room. So like, whatever I'll be putting the toilet or whatever, I will just like, zoom out. Then I can like you can click on reset and zoom in and see like, if everything is in a position that you wanted it to be. And then again, you can just go more inside of the room. Then we had a question about the tiles, I think. Did you have to make each tile for this space? No, I've created, I think we had that on one of the office hours. So I've created a pattern with create new product tool. So if I just click on the wall here and go to modify, so that's a pattern that I've created. And then I paste the texture of these. So I uploaded two images of different part of the tile. And then when I was putting them up, so I'll show you an example. When I was putting them in, I actually used the vertical and horizontal offset for them to be as for the look to be as realistic as possible. So if I go to my no textures and upload this. Okay, so as you can see, I have two tiles. They're very similar and they look like, like just like a different part of the same tile. So I put one first and then I put the second one. And then when I was changing them, so I used the copy texture tool. And now when I put this one, when I put, let's say, this one, I don't know what's happening with that tool lately. Let's try one more time. Okay, it doesn't. The tool, it was just weird all day today. So when I was copying the texture, then I will just drop it and I'll just show you an example. So for example, we have the same texture here. I will just drop it here. And now always the texture properties will open on your right-hand side. So from here, if you can see on that tile here, when we do the okay, it's not changing now. Mostly when you do horizontal and vertical offset, oh yeah, okay, it's working now. I think it's just glitching a bit. Then it just like the pattern will be changing. So then like, you can do like different bits of pattern and then like, it will look very realistic. So like I've created that with the create new product tool and then in each rectangle, I've put it a texture and then use the copy texture tool and offset for like a different, part of the tiles and just to make it as realistic as possible. How do you add a custom niche to a wall with separate shelves? I think you have one in that room. Yes. So well, with this one, I actually used a niche from our catalog. So if you type in a niche, we have loads of different shapes and they go automatically, they snap within a wall. So I used this one. So I'll just put it here. Let me take this one down. So I've used this one, I've resized it, and then I've created like one shelf, or like you can take a wall shelf from a catalog, and simply I added them into the niche. And then I just simply resize them and you're done. I think we actually have a niche there with some shelves as well. But that's just how I did it. I literally added the shelves and then I used the same texture on the niche that I've used from the catalog. So like for example, you have this one here with a shelf. Yeah, but as you can see, like we have loads of different shapes. Now, one tip that I can give you when you're designing a wall with a niche and you have tiles on that wall. So let's say I will just delete that so you can see it. So let's go for some tiles. Okay, let's say these ones. And now when you will edit it and you will use the number of tiles, let's say we do 4 by 4. Okay. And now if you want to move it into the niche, and we will use the copy texture tool. Hopefully it will work now. Okay, we have it. So as you can see, if we will add it, like the texture is changing, because when you're editing it by the number of tiles, then if you will drop it to a smaller texture, then it will be smaller. If you will drop it to a bigger surface, then the texture will be bigger. But if you want to have the same texture in your niche, then what you have to do, if we go to edit, we click on texture size. You don't have to edit it by texture size. So like, you can play with the number of tiles, but then if you want to move it into another surface, click on texture size. Because when you will edit it by texture size and move it to a different surface, it still will be the same size of a texture. So it will look identical on smaller surfaces and on larger surfaces. So now if I will use the copy texture tool and put it, as you can see, it looks the same as it looks on the other wall. So like, it doesn't go smaller. So if I will zoom in, you can actually see. It's just a bit inside, so it might seem smaller, but that's the same texture. So if you want to move it to another surface, especially like, when you have niches, then use a click on the texture size before copying the texture. I'll just go back to the way it was. Okay, we have more questions here. Yes, so I just show you. Did you see, Tanya? So you just click type in niche in a catalog, and then you simply um just put it on the wall and it will snap within a wall automatically. So as you can see, we have a niche, and like the opening for the niche is made automatically. So like, you don't have to do anything. You just drop a texture on it and you're done. If like, if you I don't know, need to create a wall with niches for some reason, or like, maybe there are like some shapes that we don't have it here. Then you can create that with the create new product tool. Like you will give it a depth and then create a shape for your niche. And with the push and pull, you will create a cavity for that niche. And you can like, use it on your wall as well. But for the fast way and the simple the most like the simpler way that we have, it's just to type in niche and just choose whichever size and sorry, whichever shape of a niche you want, and then just simply resize it. Yeah, no, this voila marble is not a library. That's my texture. I've I've uploaded it, but you can find it in when you type it in Google, you can find it and do a screenshot and then use it. How can we create a different vanity counter design? Perhaps 3 levels of counter with Italian marble on them with a semi-recessed wash basin. Yeah, so you can do that with the create new product tool, but we have some like modern vanities in our catalog as well. Or you can maybe like, even use some shapes and then add a texture on them. But I think the best way to do it will be like here, for example, you have a vanity with an opening, and you have a vanity with like, where you have a sink dropped in automatically. So like, so you don't have to do too much with it. But the create new product tool will be the best way to do it. We have some sinks, they are going into the countertop. So like, Joe, you can create a countertop and then drop a sink. So like, you don't have to design a sink, like, if you don't need to. So just create a shape of your vanity and like, the size of it, and then you can add your own textures or the texture from our catalog, and you can use the sinks from our catalog as well. How did you create the individual tile spaces? Yes, so I will maybe show you from scratch. Just let me go to a different wall. Okay, so you have to be, of course, in 3D, and we will just zoom in on the wall that we will be creating the tile pattern. And now we will go with the create new product. Create yourself and rectangle. Now you will go with the whichever size you need for your pattern, for the tile pattern. Let's say that we'll do it on the full wall here. We can hide the baseboards later on because we don't need them in the bathroom. So now you will go with the rectangle tool again, and you just need to know a size of the tiles that you're going with. So we start here and we just put a size of a tile, then another one. And now you can start from whichever place you want, like, so if you want to start midpoint, then you can do a midpoint. And again, you just type in sizes of your tiles. Again, we can either start with the full one or you can start anywhere you want. So you're able to create a pattern that, that works, that really works for you. And now when we have, like, I won't be doing a full wall. Now, when we have that, then we have to create an offset. So, like, when we will put the texture, we have like grout in between the tiles. If you want to have like a wider grout, so like, just to apply a color of the grout, then you can go with bigger, like with slightly bigger offset. So let's say that, like, you could do something like that. And now, like, you will be able to apply a grout in between the tiles. If you don't need the grout to be visible, or like, or it can be done like the way I did it, that we just have like a black, like a little black frames, then you can go just with like a tiny, tiny offset just to define them a bit more. So then when we will be applying texture, it will be just like, like a definition in between each tile. So they will be, you will see when one is starting and the other beginning. So like, we just give it a bit more definition. And now you will click on done and you will start dropping your textures. Yes, well, for this one, Rosa, I actually uploaded two different tiles, but like, like when you go to a website where they have a marble, most of the time they have photo of like a big marble slab. Then you can actually do you can do like a, screenshots of different parts, and that will work as well. Because like, as we all know, like, you don't have matching marble tiles. Like, if you're going for natural marble, they will always be different. Like, so putting the same tiles each next to each other, then like we won't get that effect that, like, that like real realistic, like, effect. Oh yes, Akshat. Yes, something like that. So yeah, that's doable with the create new product tool. So like you can use the arch tool or or a circle tool to create this shape here, and yeah, you will be able to recreate that. Yes, Ross, I know. I think loads of our users, they actually don't realize that, like, when you're um copying textures, it's, they it's the only thing that you have to do is just tick on the texture size, and then it's like, it will be, it's a game changer if you like, if you need to apply the same size texture onto other surfaces. Thanks, Jean. I didn't know that, like, that you didn't um know about it. So yeah, no worries. You're welcome, Akshat. Yes, you can create the same tile on the floor too. Yeah, or like, if we're still talking about the pattern, then if it's the same size, then you can simply click on it and clone it and put it like, on any other surface. What does the offset tool do exactly? So offset tool offsets the like it copy the shape of like whichever you're creating, and it creates offset. So it creates framings. With that, like, you can, for example, for bookshelves or for any other cabinets. So with the offset, you can define like the outside of the product, and then you can work with the push and pull with, like, let's say, the inside of the product, and you can apply multiple offsets. So with offsets you can create recessed style doors. So like, you can put in multiple offsets as well, and it will always copy the shape that you're creating. So if it will be arch, then it will copy the arch. If it will be circle, it will copy the circle shape. Any other questions? Can you have an opening on one of the walls? You're welcome, Jane. But opening, is it just like an opening in the wall, or is it, or are you talking about a doorway? Because I'm not sure. Because like you can have an opening in any shape. Like for example, when I have, what I have here. So I have an arch shape opening. So if you need an opening, um, yes, yeah, yeah. So like, you can either delete the wall and like, remove it, or if you need a bit of the wall to be there, then you just go to catalog and you type in a doorway. Now, some of the doorways, like most of the doorways, they have frames, but you can cover that frame. So we will put, just let me draw. Okay, so now if we'll go to 3D and we will put the opening in between rooms here. So we will go to catalog, to doorway. We will drop the doorway. Now you can resize it. We will always like bring it down just a bit. So like, you don't see the bottom of the opening. Now you can resize it. And if you don't mind the frame, then you can just drop the same color, or like, just leave it and expose it. But if you don't need it, then you go to texture, you type in invisible material. And you will apply the invisible material on the frame, so then the frame won't be visible, but you will still have the opening. So you can get rid of the frame with the invisible material in textures. What's the difference between offset and push and pull? Well, offset and push and pull, they are totally different tools. So with, let's say that we have a rectangle here. And now with push and pull, you give it a depth and you also create cavities. With offset tool, you just create frames, or you can use a line offset to measure stuff out and create lines, either horizontal or vertical. So with push and pull, we will give it some depth. And now to, let's say, give it a bit more dimension, or like create maybe like a paneling all around, or like a recessed style door, then for that we will use offset. So we will offset it, and you can create multiple offsets. Let's say that we have something like that. And now with the push and pull, you can give like this shape is flat. It only has like, these offsets, they are flat on the surface. So now with the push and pull, you can create depths and dimensions. So we can pull this one in, we can push this one out. We can again pull this one in a bit. So that's the difference with between push and pull and offset. Offset just creates um, like I always say that it just like, creates frames, like, just copying the shape and creating the frames. Push and pull creates depth and cavities. In 3D, you're welcome, Julie. In 3D mode, can you show how to measure a certain length of already existing furniture in the room too? So you can use the guidelines for that, but we can see. Um, Measuring furniture works better in 2D with the ruler tool, because guidelines, we usually use them on the floor, on the ceiling, or on the wall. But if you want to measure the bed, then just see like it doesn't read it. Yeah, you can like, you can use it on the floors, on the walls, and on the ceiling. So like if you need to measure out your furniture, then it's better to switch to 2D mode. So if we go to 2D mode, we will zoom in. And now you can use the ruler tool, and you can measure out any product that you're using in your space. But in 3D, the guidelines, they are called guidelines for a reason. They are like, they are there to help you put different items in places that you need them. So yeah. Yeah, we can think about it. Yeah, but like, I personally think that like, in 3D, like you can click on any item and you have a measurement of it. So like, you can add your own measurements, and like they won't be in 3D, they won't be visible anyways, because in 3D, like, we're working with three-dimensional space. So like even if we are adding the guidelines, they are not they are like, you can't see the measurement of them, if you know what I mean. Like you just put the measurement and then just type it in, and the guideline is being created. But it's a three-dimensional space, so like, you won't be seeing that anyway. You can always click on the product and go to edit, and here you have all the dimensions that you need. So like you can give it physical dimensions, or even if you will go to resize tool and you are resizing in, then you can type in the dimensions as well. So like you have two different ways of like checking dimensions or like editing them. Okay, do we have any other questions? when moving objects, sometimes they move with other objects. Yes, sometimes when you're, for example, even like the coffee tables, sometimes like, when you have something on them that they will move together, sometimes they won't. It's like, it's not like, it's not something that I have explanation of. Like, it's if they move together, then just like, put the item that is on top away first and then move the other objects. Yes, some of them. It's like it's not for all the objects. And like, sometimes it works, sometimes it's not. And like, sometimes I want it to work and it doesn't. So then I'm like, grouping objects. And sometimes it's just automatically when they snap on like, other surface, they are like grouped together automatically. But to detach them, you can just simply move the one that is on top first, and then you can move the one that is underneath them. No, the window I actually created myself, Tanya. So for this space, I've used the Create New Product tool. So you have a window. If I go to modify, so it's a frame like that. Again, like I've used the offset, then I've used the push and pull to push it in. Then I've used another offset to create a window frame. And then I've just added a glass texture on this side, and you can also add it from the other side. So you're making sure that you can actually see through. And now just to show you how I attach it into the wall. So if I'll go this way, it won't, like you can use the punch tool. So if the punch tool available, and you can just put it all the way in and click on punch tool. So like if you will create it yourself, then you will have a punch tool available on the top center of your screen, and you will just move it and click on punch tool, and the cavity for the window is being created. So like I couldn't find the window that I wanted, and I needed like, this window sill from the inside. So yeah, so there's an option to create your own window as well. No, that's actually, this bed goes with that panel. So like I can't like, detach it. Like I can use maybe the invisible material to hide it, but for this bed, Alice, it's actually that's together. That's a full bed with the headboard. Oh, difference from punch tool. Punch tool is available in 3D. And push and pull, that's a tool that you're using when you're using Create New Product tool. So there's like, there's they are used in two separate um like actions. So the push and pull, that's a tool within the Create New Product tool, and punch tool, that's for creating cavities. Sometimes when you will be dropping a sink on the surface for your vanity or for kitchen, then you will see that you can't see the bottom of the sink. So that's when the punch tool is available in the top center. You just click on the punch tool, and then it creates the cavity, and the full sink, for example, is like, is visible. Oh, you're welcome, Alice. I really like when like, when this session are um helpful for you. Can we also add trim to the mirror? Trims. Yes, yeah. You can add trims to a mirror, and you can create your own mirrors with the Create New Product tool. So yeah, so like, so we can add trims, so you can take any mirror from the catalog and add trims around it, or you can create your own mirror in Create New Product tool, and like, with the offset tool, create a trim for the mirror. Okay, so we're done for can you show the punch tool like in a sink, for example, quickly? Yeah, of course. I will show you. I should have like a kitchen countertop somewhere here. Okay, let's use this one. So for example, we have kitchen. And now if we want to apply sink, and we will drop the sink, then as you can see, like we can resize it, we can move it anywhere we want to. And now as you can see, like the bottom of the sink is not visible, but now we have the punch tool available, and you just click on punch tool. Okay, it doesn't work for me. But yeah, but maybe it's just the countertop that I've added. Okay, I've had like two countertops here, and like, it will only go through one. So now you have punch tool, and that will create a cavity for your sink.
Magda, what other items would you use that other than sinks?
Like the window that I did, or like, anything that you're putting inside of the wall, then whenever the punch tool is available, then you will see it in the top center of your screen. Some items, they can't be punched through. So for example, if you like, you will be using any shapes or any other products like panelings, then you can't punch through that product. But like if you're putting like something, things like sinks, or like the thing that I've created with the create new product tool, and you want to move it inside of the wall, then the punch tool will be available and you can use it for these items. Alice, any products, let's say vanity from the catalog, could it be modified for custom design? Take it readily from the catalog and modify it. Well, you can modify it just slightly. So for example, if we have a vanity and it has a sink on top, you can use invisible material and cover that sink with the invisible material. So let's say that you can like, put your own sink on top. For example, like if you would only like to have one sink and then the rest of the vanity to be like a space for any like, anything else, then you can cover that with the invisible material in texture, and you can create your own countertop with any other things, or maybe like, if you would like freestanding things, that you can do it. When it comes to customization, you can change colors, you can resize it, and for example, you can use invisible material to cover the handles and add your own handles. But there's like, you can add different fronts on the drawers with the create new product tool. So like, you can create one front and then paste it on top of this drawer and use the copy tool to paste it on the rest of the drawers. So like you can modify it that way. What you want to be able to do, then for example, if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drawers, then like you won't be able to, let's say, create a cavity in here. So like, that won't be possible. Um, like you can do it with the create new product tool. So like you can, or even with the, if I will take any of the shapes. Okay, let's say this one, that's a wall docked cube, but we were like, take it and resize it. So you can, like you can resize it and you can put it on top. Let's say that you would like to have like, like a one, sorry, one drawer instead of two, that you would like to have like a one drawer front, then you can simply resize it and just paste it. on top. Now move it, and with the invisible material, you can cover the handles. So then we can put it a bit more. Yeah, and now you can cover the handles with the invisible material, and you can add any other texture on, let's say, on this drawer, and then you can, let's say, add another drawer. But like, you know, it's like customization of items from a catalog. It is limited. You're welcome, Alice. Okay, guys, that's all for today. Would you choose a box then? Well, I just like, you know, I just use it for example, Julie. You can create it with the create new product. You can use the shapes and like, you know, and resize them and, you know, just put them on other surfaces. So that was just an example of like, you know, something that you can, how you can work like, you know, with items from a catalog and just customize them a bit. So thanks for all the questions. It was a really nice session today. So yeah, have a lovely day all, and we'll see you next week. You're welcome. You're welcome, guys. Take care.